Okay, let's talk about October. October, reading-wise, was good. I read more books in October than I've read in any other month this year. Also, I had 2 5-star reads, back-to-back even, this month, and I haven't had any 5-star reads that were not rereads in 2020 thus far. So, great reading month, really crappy life month. But let's get into the books. The first book I finished, oh god, look at that sticker, huh? Oh, I see what happened. I tried to peel it off and it left that awful residue, so I just decided I'd rather have the sticker. Anyway, let's cover that up. This is Again But Better by Christine Riccio, and I'm pretty sure I'm the last person on Booktube to read this. It's been on my TBR forever. I finally got to it and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I guess I should tell you what it's about. This story follows Shane as she studies abroad in London. And of course, she meets new people while she's there, which is absolutely her intention because she is trying to kind of reinvent herself, start her life over while she's studying abroad. Also, she's trying to pursue a different career path than she's been pursuing in the past, so a whole new era of her life is beginning. And then she meets Pilot while she is studying abroad, and they really hit it off, and this is a romance, so you can imagine where it's going. Actually, you probably can't unless you've read it, because there's a big twist. I won't say what it is because that would be rude, but I really liked it. I have seen some commentary about the dialogue in this book or the writing style being a little bit off-putting or hard to read, and I thought it was great. It was right up my street. I love quirky dialogue. I loved all of the references that were in here. I liked all of the different ways that we were transported to the year that it is, because the actual time period is very important in this novel. You need to know when it is that things are happening in order to be able to understand what's going on, and I liked the way that it was done. Anyway, yeah, I gave this book 4 stars. I really liked it. The second book I finished in October is The 13th Tale by Diane Sutterfield, and I actually did a vlog of myself reading this, which is interesting. Like, I had no idea going in that I was gonna love this book, but I did give this book 5 stars. So I vlogged my first 5-star read of the year by complete accident. This story follows Margaret Lee, who has received a letter from a very famous author named Vida Winter, and Miss Winter wants Margaret to write her biography. Apparently, she's given many interviews in the past and told complete and utter lies to whoever was telling her story in the past, but now she's ready to tell the truth and she has chosen Margaret to do it. I can't tell you really what I thought was going to happen. I mean, everything I just said is what I thought this book was about, but I just thought it was gonna go a different direction than it did. It was a very dark story, but it was really gorgeously written, and it was very carefully crafted to give you doses of information. Pacing is not exactly the word. Even though it is paced very well, I'm wanting a different word to tell you, like, the little tidbits of information that get dropped lead you to guess so much about what's about to happen. Even though this isn't really technically a mystery, the setup is mysterious, but there's no, like, major, it's not like a thriller where, oh, we've found a body and we've got to figure out who did it. It's not like that. It's more subdued than that, but the information and the evidence, you might say, is placed very strategically in here, and you can't figure out what's going to happen. I really don't know what to say about this book other than I would recommend it to anyone. I think this is a great example of a well-crafted book, of good writing, of good pacing. a very interesting setting because you're very grounded in the atmosphere of this book. Like, you can feel the dust settling into a room, and you can feel the warmth or the cold or whatever Diane Setterfield freaking wants you to feel. You feel it, but yet you don't really know much about where any of this stuff is. It gives you a pretty vague setting. It doesn't tell you the time period. You don't know if you're picturing them like on our modern streets today or if it's 200 years ago, but yet still you don't need to know. You're still there with the characters. It's impeccably done. Okay, I'll shut up about this book because I haven't told you anything about it, but I don't want to tell you anything about it. I want you to read it. But I gave this 5 stars. It's hard to get 5 stars for me. 5 stars means it's one of my favorite books. Yeah, I will probably reread this in the future after I've forgotten what happens, which probably won't take very long. Not because of the book, because of my brain. The next book I read was A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I don't normally do series books when they're not all released. I have a pet peeve about that. I like to wait until a series is complete before I even start. That way I can just binge my way through. I don't know what I was thinking with this. I already need the next book. It's not going to be out until like July of next year. I don't know why I did this to myself, but I loved it. I loved this book. This is another 5-star. I already said I had 2 back-to-back, so you already know. Gave this one 5 stars. This story is so very complicated to explain. Galadriel is our main character. That name, by the way, I love it. Galadriel is attending a magical boarding school, and that is going to make everybody think it's some type of way, and it's not that way. Whatever you just thought, it's not that way. This magical school pretty much spends the entire course of your education trying to kill you. But Galadriel is not as easy to kill as it seems, and also she has a protector in Orion Lake. Orion is kind of the school superhero. He shows up at all the right moments. He saves everyone. Everyone treats him like a celebrity. Galadriel freaking hates him. It's wonderful. The dialogue in this book is really great. I liked being inside Galadriel's head. I liked her friends. I mean, the friendships are very convoluted at this school because most of the time you're friends with people for the gain that they can provide to you. That makes it sound really horrible, but real friendships can develop there, and it's really wholesome when they do. This book is freaking gripping. I liked it so much. I'm going to be reading much more from Naomi Novik. This was very impressive. I can't wait for the next book. I don't know if it's a trilogy. I hope that there are tons of books set at this school with these people because I adored it. Alright, this is the point where October really went south. Not book-wise, well, kind of, but at this point my entire household was diagnosed with COVID-19. That's a whole other story. I won't bore you with it here. The reading at this point was difficult. My mind was in a different space. I don't know if I can faithfully rely on the ratings I gave these books because do they deserve it? Or was I just crazy at that point in time? I don't know. But the first book I read after I got diagnosed is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. This story, I just don't know what I think about it. This book follows Eleanor Vance, who has spent most of her life caring for her mother, who is apparently not a very nice person, and she has been invited to Hill House for a summer in order to explore the paranormal eccentricities of Hill House. And so begins a very weird experience for Eleanor and everyone else in the house. I can't tell you what happened. 1, because I don't really know, and 2, because that would be a spoiler. Hill House is showing things to all of these characters. I'm not sure if they're all seeing the same things. I'm not sure if any of the things they see are actually happening. I don't know, and the ending makes me think that maybe Eleanor is not as reliable a narrator as she seems. And that's all I'll say about that. I gave this book 2 stars because I really liked the dialogue, even though I felt like it was really unbelievable. I thought that it was really quirky and cute, but everything else I didn't get. I didn't get it enough to be scared, and I wanted to be scared. But this should not entice you to not read it. Just because I'm too dumb for a book doesn't mean you're too dumb. So sure, read this, let me know what you think. I also watched the show on Netflix. Maybe I'll just do a whole Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor book adaptation video. I don't know, because I don't want to talk about the show right here, but I freaking love the show. Anyway, next book. Speaking of the Haunting of Bly Manor, I also wanted to read the book that show was based on, which is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. I read this as an ebook and I gave it 3 stars. This is another one that I didn't really know what was going on, but I do have a better idea of what the book was trying to do than I did with The Haunting of Hill House. This story follows a governess who is sent to take care of 2 children, Miles and Flora, and when she arrives at the house, meets the children, they are lovely, and the house is fine. The housekeeper is very welcoming, everything is great, until there are ghosts. And on the story's surface, it seems like the rest of the story is just the governess trying to help the children be safe from the ghosts. But I don't know if that is what it's about. I don't know if the ghosts are really there. I'm choosing to believe that this story is exactly what was written, that there are ghosts and these children are being haunted, and that is my choice and I'm sticking to it. Also, I have thoughts about the show. I won't tell them to you, but the show is pretty good. The last book that I read in October is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, I have never read this before. I can't freaking believe it. I'm probably the last person that has yet to finish the Grisha trilogy, but oh no. And my dog chewed on this book. Fabulous. Anyway, everyone probably knows what this book is about. It follows Alina, who has grown up in an orphanage of sorts. She and her best friend Mal have joined the army, and they are about to embark on a very perilous journey when the story begins. And of course, things go south really quickly, and Alina is plunged into a world of magic and pretty clothing and splendor and the darkling. Really, I thought this was going somewhere different by the middle. I was a little bit thrown when things took a turn, but that's okay. I still loved it, and I already have the other 2 books in the trilogy, and I'm going to be reading them as soon as possible because I enjoyed this and I need to know what is in store for Alina. Did I say I gave this 4 stars? Because I gave it 4 stars. Anyway, those are all the books that I read in the month of October. I am feeling much better now. I think that I'm in the clear. My quarantine ended today, so I am going to go somewhere. I don't know where, but I want to leave the house because I can now. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, I stream on Twitch on Monday through Thursday in the mornings, so I will link my channel down below if you want to come see me over there. And if not, please just like and subscribe here on my YouTube channel, and I will have more videos for you soon. Thanks. Bye!